What does the face of need look like? In so many ways, it looks like you and me. The Caring Place mission is to model the love of Christ by addressing basic spiritual, physical, and social needs of people in Bradley County, Tennessee. And the most important gift we distribute is love. Won't you help us to help our neighbors? Pray, give, volunteer.
And welcome back to the Good Morning Show. We are live from the Andrew Johnson Bank Studios in beautiful downtown Cleveland. So
Who
They've
changed
been
the
practicing
name?
that.
They didn't cue me. I would have joined them.
I know we rehearsed earlier this morning. So
I didn't get that memo either. Beautiful.
beautiful downtown Cleveland. So
City of Spirit.
that's right. Welcome back to the Good Morning Show. It is Monday, January 23rd, just 20 minutes after 10 o'clock, and we are joined once again
Yes.
by a very special guest.
Yes, Dr. Randy Howard, the executive director of the Caring Place, and he was on the show last week, and I so enjoy hearing him speak that we had him come back today.
No, I'll interject there. Evidently, we had a problem with the recording, and we're just going to put blame where blame's due. And Bryce is not here.
Bryce's
Bryce,
fault.
Bryce,
I'm glad I'm here today.
I know.
Yeah.
You
They
can't
would
get
have
good
blamed
help.
me.
Bryce, the producer, the beloved producer of the Nancy Neighborhood Program. It's got to be his fault.
It's got to be.
Poor Bryce.
With digital media, some of these things just get swept into the wastebasket sometimes by accident.
Sure.
So
So there was some, just a ton of great information from that interview that the live audience got to hear. But we want to recap this for the people who didn't get a chance to watch it. So we're going to do this interview one more time. And you said you practiced all weekend to make sure this second run was right. That's what we've heard. That's what Tony
perfect.
told us.
Oh, Tony told you
Yes.
that's what I was told.
that.
Yes.
Tony Miles, she is wonderful.
She is. She'll keep you on your toes.
Oh, absolutely. I can't keep up with her.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm sure when she found out that something went awry with the interview, she was on the phone to you going, okay, you're back
She
on
was
Monday.
in here last Friday, and when we couldn't find it, she was she's very worried about it, and we were like, we're gonna make it right. So
Yes, yes. Well, it's
So-
always good to have Dr. Howard and join us, and he's got some exciting news and things going on with the Caring Place and the vision that you guys have, as well as new direction and unifying several groups within our community, and we're just excited to have you back. So if you don't care, Randy, just to go ahead and share again with our audience what you shared with us last week, and for those who didn't get to see it, this will be a treat.
Absolutely.
I will be glad to. Wendy, I enjoyed it last week, and hopefully I'll even enjoy it again this week. I was telling my staff that the second time surely couldn't be as good as the first time. That was wonderful last week. So we'll give it a go, and hopefully we'll have the good information there no matter what. As I talk about the Caring Place, I always love to start about the past and about the journey that the Caring Place has been on. And you cannot talk about the Caring Place in Cleveland, Tennessee without talking about Reba Terry. Reba was our executive director for the Caring Place. As a matter of fact, she began as a part-time director. She comes out of a social work background. And I have a nickname for Reba. I call her the Angel of Cleveland. And for, 12 years easily, she has been leading the Caring Place, and her compassion has been flowing out to this community. And she's been building step by step by step. There's a bullet point history in our files at the Caring Place. And it's awesome to read through because you see two things, just the constant motion forward of Caring Place led by Reba. And the second thing you see is the constant grace of God and provision of God to help serve and minister to families and people that are in need in our community. So for about 15 years, the Caring Place has been active here in Cleveland. And I like to share that because I believe many folks who may be watching might not be aware. I'm always surprised as I'm moving around town. I'm speaking to folks who really know a good bit about our community, and they may not know much about the Caring Place. So Excuse me, before I move into the future and the vision that we have and the excitement of what we believe will develop for the Caring Place, I love to talk about our foundation. Can't talk about that without speaking about Reba. The Caring Place basically provides 6 services here in our community. Our mission statement says that we are a Christian ecumenical organization, and we're attempting to administer the love of Christ by serving or addressing 3 needs here in our community. We want to address physical needs, we want to address social needs, and we want to address spiritual needs. And so that is the calling of the Caring Place. We wrap it all up in a motto that we have, and we love this motto. I'm pretty sure Reba probably is where it came from, meeting needs in love. And that is the atmosphere of service at the Caring Place if you were to come. Our volunteers, our staff, and even the surveys that we receive, and I'll talk about those more later today, reflect the fact that people come and they sense love. They sense the love of Christ. They sense the love of the volunteers serving. It is an atmosphere of love. It's such a privilege for me to be able to be involved with the Caring Place now for about a year. It is a high honor, and we believe it is a great calling, a great commission from Christ, we believe. As a matter of fact, we say this about the Caring Place, and you'll have to know that I'm biased. Everybody may not believe this, but we believe if Jesus were in Cleveland today, he would be at the Caring Place, touching, ministering, hurting, panic-stricken, very sometimes desperate families. We believe Jesus would be there. Excuse me for getting a little preachy here. I do come from that background, you know. But Jesus had a mandate himself, and we like to believe, we want to adopt it, we'd like to live it out. He said, "The Spirit of the Lord God is on me, because the Lord has anointed me to preach good tidings to the meek. He sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives, the opening of the prison to them that are bound." So that's why we humorously say, we know Jesus is everywhere. There are so many great services going on in our community, charitable organizations, wonderful partners that we have. But we do love to think that Jesus would be there with needy people. Oh, let me move on quickly. I said we have 6 services that we provide. We are known most for our food service, and that combines closely to our clothing service. So we give away food. We give away a 20-pound bag of groceries to families that come to the Caring Place. Last year, we gave away almost 300,000 pounds of food. If you put that in retail value, it would be $500,000 worth of food that we gave out over the course of the year. And we, of course, believe that we'll do that and more this year. So we give away food. We did a little survey among our clients, and I loved several of their comments. Well, I loved all of their comments. It was just so precious. One of our clients said, "About the last week of every month, we run out of food in our house, and we're so glad that the Caring Place is available to help us." And that just kind of touches our hearts to know that there are families that just can't quite make it. And so we serve food, we give away clothing. We have 1,000 families that will flow through the Caring Place every single month. So that's quite a flow. And to be able to serve 1,000 families as they come through every month, we have, again, folks, I'm biased, we have the best people in Cleveland who come and volunteer at the Caring Place. 150 volunteers every single week, because we have 6 serving sessions. And to man those serving sessions, we have to have our volunteers. They are literally the engine that keeps the Caring Place going. I mentioned we give away clothing. Again, in that survey, I was browsing through it and I noticed, I love this comment that the lady made. She said, "We couldn't have raised our boys going through high school if it hadn't been for the Caring Place." Literally, the Caring Place clothed our boys while they were going through high school. There was another comment that was made talking about they loved the the shine in their daughter's eye when they came home from the caring place with clothing for that little child. And so clothing may not seem like a great challenge to some of us, but for others, it is a great challenge. So we do food and we do clothing. We also have full-time social workers. We have 2 full-time social workers that work at the caring place right now. And so we want to go beyond just food and clothing. There are extreme needs, there are issues that come through the caring place. And our basic social work is an attempt to connect these with more extreme needs to the services that we know are available around in Bradley County and Cleveland, Tennessee. And so our social workers are the most well-known people at the caring place. When someone walks into the caring place, they don't know my name, but they will know Carla's name. They will know Corinne's name because they know our social workers and know the provisions and know the help that they're able to give. And it's marvelous. As a matter of fact, I'll weave into these 6 services a new thrust that we're going to give. I know I'm going to be talking about new things in just a moment, but the Caring Place is an emergency relief organization. When I say that, we mean folks who are in need now. They have a crisis now. There's no food in their home now. Whatever it may be, it's a moment of crisis for them. And they come to the Caring Place, and that's what we're built to do, is to serve them in their moment of need. But we've been doing this for 15 years, and we recognize we'd like to begin helping our friends. We like to call our clients our friends. They are our friends. We'd like to build relationships with them, and we'd like to begin helping them step forward, maybe out of the reasons that bring their crisis, out of the things that happen that cause the root causes, that bring them to the moment of need, the panic in their life, some moment of despair. And so we're launching a new social work program at the Caring Place now, and we're very excited about it. As a matter of fact, now I know the name of it. It's called Stepping Stones, Rising Out of Poverty. And as we do this, Corinne Freeman is going to be the director of this program. We're going to begin to put together counseling. We're going to put together peer groups. We're going to be putting together other mentoring groups that are going to begin helping many of our clients to identify what are the causes that bring me back to my crisis. We're going to begin serving those as well. Very, very excited about that. And it all stems from really the fundamental philosophical foundation for the Caring Place's social work. We are a ministry. I'll get to that part in a minute. And we have every intention that we want to enhance and encourage people in their spiritual walk. But the Caring Place is founded on social work, and I'm glad that it is. It's a strong foundation on helping people with the challenges of their lives and help them to move towards stability, to have a stable home, to be able to provide education for their children, be able to find a job, to be able to be secure in their home without risk of violence or addictions or other traumas that could come and literally destroy the fiber of their family and the fiber of their lives and the fiber of their quality of living. And so the Caring Place is built on this social work. And I've spent a little time talking about that third service, but we believe it's so important. And a service that's attached to that is we help people with their utility and their rent. We provide assistance for utility and rent. And we're so glad that we can, because that's such a major key in stability. When people lose their housing, when their housing is at risk, even if it's just at risk, you can imagine the panic that would go through your mind or your heart if you thought that your housing was at risk, the safety of your children was at risk. Maybe the lights and the electricity were going to be turned off. That's just trauma to these people. So this is a service that is so critical to provide. Fifth, we provide a service that's actually not even on the campus of the Caring Place. It outgrew the Caring Place. I'll mention our need for space a little bit later. And we're so glad for our partnership with Cleveland State Community College, Bill Seymour, the president there. And this service that we provide is called SACPAC. Now, many people are familiar with SACPAC around our community, and some are not. They're not aware that elementary children in our schools, when they go home on Friday, they're at risk of hunger. Now, during the school week, they receive lunches at school, and many times they receive breakfast at school. So they receive food at school that's going to carry them through the week. But some of those children, and quite a few in our county, go home and they're at risk of hunger. Perhaps there's no food in the house, or perhaps their parents are involved in addictive situations or in other situations so that the care for those children is really lacking and there's no one to provide the food. At any rate, those children can receive a SAC pack. Our principals, our school counselors, our teachers identify the children that they are aware, and our SRO, the officers at the schools, also help in this process. And they identify the children that are at risk of hunger there in their schools. It has grown, this program has grown so much in the 4 years, almost 5 now, that it has been in operation here in Cleveland with the Caring Place. We are servicing 16 elementary schools here in Bradley County and in Cleveland's city school system. Out of those 16, we deliver 700 SAC packs every single week to these schools, and their teachers then will deliver them to these students. It's just so remarkable. I brought a little survey that we did among our teachers, and I thought I'd read some of those words that the teachers were saying. One of the teachers in her survey said, "I've looked in a SAC pack, and I greatly appreciate the quality of the healthy food included there." We do try to make it healthy. As a matter of fact, there is no candy in a SAC pack. These are nutritious, healthy, but kid-friendly items that we believe a kid actually could put together themselves. Now, excuse me for using the term kid, but very often we associate that with SAC pack. The teacher said, "I see it being used as a meal rather than a snack." 5-pound sack that we give away. Wow. Another teacher said, "Thank God you bless us by serving our children." Another said, "Students look forward to SAC packs and can't wait to get them each week." And finally, one teacher said, "The SAC pack program helps me not to worry so much about our students on the weekend. I've had students come up to me on Friday and say, 'Do we get our SAC pack today?' And when I would say yes, they would say, 'Oh boy.'" So the SAC pack program is so touching because children touch our heart, and they ought to. Children touched our Savior's heart.
Tony has shared too in the past that oftentimes these children actually share those SAC packs with their younger siblings, and you don't think about that. You think that you're taking care of that need, but they're going home and sharing it with those who they're not old enough to get the SAC pack.
So touching. As a matter of fact, we do have students that they will ask for another SAC pack for their sibling. They know they have a sibling that's not in that school, and they'll ask for another one. If there may be someone who was sick and not able to get a SAC pack, a teacher can give another SAC pack out, which is amazing. Oh, Wendy, there are stories to tell, and you folks have made the mistake of telling me I can talk as long as I want. Oh, no.
Well, and another thing to lead into maybe what you're about to speak of, Tony, she and I have talked in the past about the programs that you all offer, and you're meeting those immediate needs of families, clothing, shelter, whatever it might be that you're helping out. But at the same time, you want them to step out of that situation, for it to be sustainable in their life, and for them to get away from the poverty, whatever brought them to that place. How can I change that life to allow them to continue on that path of progress and not to stay in poverty? And so I think some of that, the programs that not only you all offer, but other organizations in our community offer, kind of play a role in that.
You are absolutely right, Wendy. And we do want to talk about that. This is one of our passions. Now that we have had a 15-year foundation, and Reba has done such a great job building this organization to deal with emergency relief. And believe me, I talk with Reba every 6 weeks, and her passion is right with us. She always intended that this would be a vehicle to help people reach stability, not just to put a Band-Aid on their trauma at the moment, but to help them take steps to move forward, to get closer to and even into stable situations with their lives personally and with their families. So that is our passion. It's been the heart of the Caring Place, and I believe now God has brought us to the place where we can take significant steps forward in our community to try to begin doing that, try to begin partnering with other organizations who have the same passion. It's the same conviction that so many of us hold together here in this community. Let me share one more, our last service as we head toward that direction. And that is, we want to encourage the spiritual life of our clients that come through. And as we take this new step that I'm going to be talking about in just a moment, we believe it's going to open wide doors for us. As I came to the Caring Place and as I would go to the devotions that we hold 30 minutes before every serving session, we'll hold a devotion. We were just cramped for space. We are still cramped for space. We have 14 chairs in our lobby. And when our staff and our volunteers who want to come to the devotion come, we don't have any more space. So we were scratching our heads saying, what are we going to do? We want to bless those people. Out on our porch, people come and wait for us to open the doors and serve. They will come 30 minutes early. Many of them will. Many will come an hour early. So they're there and they're on our porch. But we didn't have any space for them, and we still don't. But we decided, space or no space, we're going to start opening the door, and we're going to say, we'd love for you to come. Space is limited. And it is so, I'm going to use the word precious. Some people may chuckle at that grandmother type word, but it is so precious to sit with our friends and to be sharing a scripture, to be sharing a song, to be sharing a moment of devotion, and to be sharing it together. One thing that has surprised us is our friends speak up. They share with us. They speak to us, and I'm going to share one of those, and then we will move on. It was just a couple of weeks ago that Jessie, which is not her real name, none of the names that I'll use today will be their real name, but Jessie spoke up, and she had a couple of her boys with her because it was the holiday season, schools were out. And she said that my husband and I have had great jobs, and about 2 months ago, we both lost our jobs, simultaneously lost our jobs. She said, I'm a skilled worker in industry, and her husband had a skill, but they both lost their jobs. She said, of course, we were worried and concerned, but this was going to be a testimony. It was not going to be a description of her trauma. And she said, over these 2 months, going through the holidays, greatest demand, Christmas, and all for our children, God has provided. Jessie was speaking out of a heart that was so grateful. God had provided from ways she could never have seen, some things she couldn't have anticipated. For us in the staff and the volunteers, we were just thankful because it was one more affirmation we could be part of God's provision for Jessie and for her boys and for her family. And we never would have had the chance to know that if Jessie hadn't been there with us in devotion. And we thought, and this is always the ministry happens, we thought we were having devotion so we would bless Jessie, and I hope we did. But Jessie came and blessed us, sharing her testimony. So these are the 6 serving ways that we try to minister to the needs of the people of our community. And as I said, we have 1,000 families coming through, so that over the year we will serve 4,000 distinct families in our community. Now there are, statistics show us there are 19,000 people that live under the poverty level. Government set poverty level here in Bradley County. We have over 100,000 in population. So that's 1 out of 5 almost in Cleveland that live under the poverty level. Now when people come to the Caring Place, some may question, we have criteria. We have computer software. We ask our people to give us proof of their identity. We ask them to give us proof of their residence because we serve Bradley County folks. Now, we will serve anyone regardless of their proof. We ask them for proof of income so that we will know. We serve everyone under the 125% of the government poverty level. We ask for all of those, but if they don't have any of those, we serve everyone. We do not turn anyone away. And then this next time they come, they'll know our criteria that this is what we ask for. They will be in our computer data bank, and we keep track of that. And I love to share what folks have said to us in our lobby as well, as we visit with them some. They've said, we try not to come to the Caring Place unless we absolutely need to. Well, what we found out in 2016, and this only validated statistics from other years, a family can come twice a month. So that means they could come 24 times in a year. The average this year is that our families came a little over 3 times in a year. So that means of the 4,000 families, they're not trying to live off of the Caring Place. They're not avoiding getting a job, or they're not avoiding because now we're feeding them. It says that 75% of the people that come to the Caring Place are only doing it when they need to. They really need to. And we're filling a gap for them. We're putting food on their table at a moment when they just couldn't find another way to get it done. And that makes us feel good. And it lets us know we have got that 75% of our families that now let's take their hand and move them on because their attitude is right. And I just wanted to say that for our listeners, because sometimes our listeners don't understand and they think, oh, they're just taking advantage of you giving away free food. Well, we do have criteria, and we do track our people. And this is what we find as we track them. We're so excited to be able to serve them. Okay, let me launch on into the future then. Oh, I love to talk about the Caring Place. Matter of fact, I just have to share this story as we close out just generally Caring Place serving. It came to us in a phone call. No, actually, it came through our website. And it'll give people just a sense of need in Cleveland. You know, I've lived in Cleveland for quite a long time, Wendy. I did not realize the people in need in our community. I believe there are a lot of us out there who didn't realize that until I began to volunteer at the Caring Place and got more involved. And I appreciate this program giving us the opportunity to maybe say to someone that's in your listening audience, there's real need in Cleveland, and it's growing. And this story might shake that awareness in some. This lady wrote on our website, my children and I are homeless and in a desperate need of help. We've been staying in a room at the extended stay hotel, but we can't afford another week, and rent is due on Sunday. We're hungry and scared. I've pawned my car title for money to help us, and now I'm afraid of losing the one real asset that I have left. I don't know what to do. We need someone to help us because I don't know what to do anymore, and my children are depending on me to figure something out. Please, if there's anything you can do, contact me immediately. Thank you so much. There are people like that. I'm so grateful that there is a Caring Place and there are other serving organizations around our town. We'd like to help people move forward, and I just want to share this vision. I've spoken a little bit about the social work program that we already now are moving forward and implementing. Corinna Freeman is our program director of that, and she is devising the program, and we are taking steps even as this new year begins. But beyond that, there is this passion that I've been expressing in the heart of the Caring Place. And something that has helped push it on, which really had nothing to do with it, is we're just flat out of space. Clothing distribution, literally, Wendy, I can take you into the receiving room, and sometimes clothing is stacked to the ceiling. It's either clothing that we have gotten and we have not been able to process yet, or because we have a criteria for the clothing we'll give away. We'll only give away new and used new and almost new clothing. So we thank everyone for their donations, but sometimes we reject those. And that stack might be those waiting to be carried away because we sell them for pennies for a pound in order to help the Caring Place even further. So clothing is totally out of space. Food distribution, you can hardly, the lift truck, you can hardly turn it around inside our little warehouse down there. And of course, in every other aspect, I've said the SACPAC had to leave our campus because it got too large. So as I was looking for a space here in Cleveland, what could we do? I went to talk to a donor. And as I was speaking to the donor, I was a little bit discouraged because what he told me, how he could help, didn't quite seem to fit the need. I came back and I talked to Tony Miles, our organizational development director, talked to our director of operations, Dennis Conover, and they got all excited. I was thinking, well, why are they getting excited? This doesn't seem like it's going to work. They remembered a vision that Reba and the president of the United Way, Matt Ryerson, and the director of the People for Care and Learning of the past, Fred Garman, had been involved about 4 or 5 years ago, finding a very large building, and they had an idea. And the idea was, let's bring together charitable serving organizations all under one roof. They called it one-stop shopping. And what a great idea. Because transportation is a huge issue for many of our clients. Some ride the city bus, some walk, some get a friend to bring them, some carpool together. And transportation is a big issue. And so the idea was, what if we brought charitable serving organizations together and we could all serve our community in one location, like a mall of serving, a mall of caring. That would be pretty good. Well, it didn't work 5 years ago, and it was a great idea, but they couldn't put it together. But as I was sharing with Tony and Dennis, they got all excited. They could see this vision happening because we had found a donor who could possibly help us get into a building that would be large. We have actually found a building of over 100,000 square feet that's close by our serving target population. And we have been working for 6 months, Wendy, to get into that building and to bring strategic partners with us. Can you just imagine? We are a relief organization, as I've said over again. But if we had 7, 8, a dozen partners, and one partner provides this component to move a family forward, and another partner provides this element to move a family forward, and this partner, you see what's happening. We're building services that could help push those families toward a secure home or toward a secure job or toward that stability of life that we're talking about. Oh my, Tony and Dennis got all excited. They got me all excited. We went to our board and talked to them. They got all excited about it. For 6 months, we've been working to put the pieces together to try to figure out how this could possibly happen. We believe that we're 3 months away from the likely possibility. It's not done yet, and we can't say for sure that it will happen yet. But we believe we're 3 months or so away from actually having a place. I'm thinking of it in terms of an oasis. We don't have a name for it yet, but I like that one. An oasis where our people from all over the county can come and they can receive services. They can be in one building. Here's a scenario, Wendy. One of our 1,000 families come and they sit and talk with our social worker. Say it's Carla. And as they're talking to Carla, Carla sees they obviously need this benefit. Carla realizes our partner in the new building now is down the hall. And Carla says to them, could I walk you down the hall and introduce you to Kathy? And let me tell Kathy what you need, and she'll begin to serve you. Oh my goodness, what you've got there. Now, how would that compare with what we're doing now? When Carla sits with them, she knows Kathy. Kathy's across town. Mm-hmm. Let me give you Kathy's phone number. Oh, well, that's not very personal. That's not very direct. That's not very immediate. You can see how much more powerful it would be if they take this family and introduce them to Kathy, and together that there's a trust factor, there's an immediacy, there's an ease of access. It just opens wide the door. And let's say, for instance, that Kathy's organization right now may be serving 50 to 100 people. But as the 1,000 families that are involved with the Caring Place learn, those who may particularly need that benefit, as they learn about Kathy's service, about what benefits she provides, there could be another 100 flowing through our doors that really need what Kathy's organization provides. They're just not aware. They just don't have anyone to connect them. They don't have that ease of access that this center would provide. Oh, I could see it as such an oasis. I'm just going to get out on a limb and I'm going to talk about one of our partners. I can't talk about all of them, although we're excited. It's just been exciting as we communicate with the partners and we share the opportunity. They immediately see, yes, this can work. I'd like to be involved in this oasis scenario. Well, one of those partners is Suzanne Burns and the Foundation House. Now, Foundation House helps women who are, they may have already had their child or maybe they're going to have their child. They're probably single parent mothers. They're probably desperate, probably don't have stability even in their lives prior to the child coming. There may be addictives involved or there may not. It might just be lack of work and sustainability. At any rate, the Foundation House is one of our potential partners that would be there. We haven't run the numbers, of course, to know how many of our 1,000 might be single parent moms. I'll tell you, I would imagine there's quite a number, or expecting mothers. Mm-hmm. Right now, as I receive Foundation House literature and as I go to their meetings, and I'm a donor at the Foundation House, as I receive their material, I know that it's less than 50 that they're able to provide for right now. What if there were 20 more in the flow of the Caring Place that could find out about the Foundation House? And not only find out, but there again, we could walk down that hall and we could introduce them to Suzanne and her great staff and all the benefits that they provide. Because they literally take in, they have a house. They take in some women to live in their house, help them to have that child, teach them parenting skills, teach them job acquiring skills, and literally mother them and parent them through this childbirthing scenario. Mm-hmm. Well, that's only one illustration, Wendy, but we believe one of our philosophies that underlie this new step, this oasis step, the Caring Place wants to help people towards stability, but we don't want to reinvent the wheel. And we want to collaborate. We want to partner. Reba had the spirit of friendship and the spirit of networking and the spirit of collaboration. That's sewn into the DNA of the Caring Place. And we don't want to leave that. It's better for us to partner than to try to recreate services that are already available here in Bradley County and Cleveland, Tennessee. The OASIS strategy is all about collaboration. And I can hardly wait. I know you've turned me loose and I'm just talking. But
well, it's exciting and it seems so practical, to bring everyone together, for these families to sustain a better way of life. It truly is Jeremiah 29:11. God has a plan for them to give them a hope and a future and to prosper them. Mm-hmm. And so for all of these organizations to come together and work together and really pour into these lives of these individuals and these children who are going to be changed through the programs.
Yes.
And you want to put them on a path that is a betterment, that they lead better, more productive lives, and they know that there's a way out.
Absolutely.
And that's what I think is so beautiful about everyone doing that, coming together. And I know God's got it in His plan for you all to see this to fruition.
It is so exciting. You've made me think of one of the real motivating factors. Matt Ryerson and the United Way have had seminars with the author, Stephen Corbett actually came to town, did a seminar, who is the co-author of the book called When Helping Hurts. The Caring Place is convicted. Now, I've shared statistics that we believe 75% of our helping is not hurting. It's not locking people into their cycle. But we don't want to do that in any regard. This Oasis strategy is a strategy to help, not hurt. Mm-hmm. It's to make sure, to certify that we're not just enabling people in the lifestyle that they may have been locked in or captured by. And this philosophy, I believe Cleveland is so ready for it. As I've already mentioned, the wonderful serving organizations that we have in our community, the wonderful sense of camaraderie. Here in Cleveland, of course, I've never worked in another community, but this is a special place. I believe it's ready for a visible, tangible expression of collaboration and unity. And you know what comes when we collaborate, we know that word is synergy. Synergy means that all of our efforts combined together are far more than their sum. If we added them all together, you would get one sum. But if we work together with them, the outcome would be far greater than the sum of its parts. And so I believe this synergy could have a visible expression. And you know, Wendy, we're not just talking about the partnerships being with those who are inside the building. No, it's simply an expression and maybe a launching pad for a real spirit of collaboration to go beyond what is already in our community. So the people even who may not be in this building, we know that they are ready to collaborate as well. And perhaps Cleveland could put together something that could be a model. As I think about models, this model is not specifically spins off of a ministry that's in Atlanta, but certainly has some aspects that great similarity. And that is the, and here I am on television, I'm about to lose the name of that service in Atlanta. So any of you who were with me a few weeks or a week ago might be able to help me.
Is that the Refuge? Or
City of Refuge. Thank you, Wendy. Oh, thank you. I need that so much. In the City of Refuge in Atlanta, as it basically does a very similar thing, draws services together, and it has had outstanding success. And that leads me, the City of Refuge, as an illustration of one of the benefits that can come to our partnership and this Oasis idea. Mm-hmm. That Terry Johns of the Refuge was actually involved in the early days of the City of Refuge down in Atlanta. And he shared this with us, and he was excited about it because the potential is here in this Oasis operation. That is, when the City of Refuge came together and when these organizations began to join together, they enlarged their variety of services so that they could apply for grants on a much larger scale. Right now, the Caring Place applies for the grants they can on the scale that is available to them. Foundation House does the same, every other strategic partner. But if we come together, it automatically broadens our base, and that broadens our potential to apply for grants that could be regional, they could be national, and because we serve a diverse package of benefits, the grant application process can be much, much wider. And we could begin to bring in far more grant money than we are today. That excites a charitable serving organization, I'll have to tell you that.
Yeah.
My director of operations, Dennis Conover, gets really excited about that one. Of course, Tony does as well. So, as we look at our future in the Caring Place, we will never stop doing what it is we're doing. I certainly want to secure that in the minds of all of our community. Jesus said, the poor will be with you always. We know that. And we always want to be having that spirit of helping those who are poor. I was thinking about the psalm that said, blessed are they that consider the poor, for the Lord will reward them in their time of need. And the Caring Place always wants to be committed to the emergency relief, desperation of any family, any individual. At the same time, we want to step forward. We want to move families along. We'd like to secure them so that they're not locked into their difficulties or their poverty levels. So this is the passion on our heart. This is the thing that we're working on so much right now. Wendy, I was with our architect last week, was meeting with by the way, our architect, we're trying to advertise for all of the good people that are helping us. Our architect is Steve Carroll of Carroll and Rardin out of Chattanooga, but of course Steve Carroll is a Cleveland man with roots in Cleveland for a long, long time. Last week I was meeting with our heating and air conditioning consultant, who is Dan Cord of Springdale Heating and Air. Awesome, awesome people here in our community. So we're moving along. We are putting together the facts and the data for our board to be able to approve. When our board approves, we'll go to our special donor, and we're anticipating a marvelous blessing coming from him. So everyone that's listening, prayers are appreciated.
Yes.
And we thank you so much.
Exciting
Absolutely.
times for the Caring Place. Thank you so much for joining us, Randy, and just going back over once again the plan and what you all do in your future. And I know our audience is excited and looking forward to great things from the Caring Place to grow and continue and to bring those organizations together. I think it's an incredible plan, and God's hand is in it.
Thank you, Wendy. We believe God's hand is in it. We can't always fully predict God's timing, so we'll certainly watch as He works. But we do believe God. There's just too many things that have happened. Do we want to do another show on things that have happened as we walk along this trail? Thank you, Wendy. Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Josh.
Yes.
What a
Thank you.
joy to be here today.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
And we will be back on Wednesday morning at 9 a.m. Great show lined up on that day. And as always, more than welcome to come back anytime. I know you guys have a lot of things that are developing, and things change in a day. So when there is new information to release to the viewing audience, then we'll be happy to be there and help you do that.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. And we will see you all next on Wednesday, 9 a.m., the Good Morning Show, live from the WTMB studios here at Andrew Johnson Bank. We will see you guys next